Rico Rodriguez finally got his 7-star awakening in Brave Exvius. What is going on, guys? Welcome back once again, and we're going to go over a character who is either going to be incredibly amazingly powerful, best damage dealer in the game, or he's going to be incredibly trash. So thank you guys for spending a little bit of your time here today. We're going to explain exactly what that means for you, all your Rico Rodriguez fans out there. Thank you guys for the support via Patreon, as well as being a YouTube channel member here. Can't thank you guys enough. So let's get into Rico Rodriguez for you guys here. Let's talk about him. His TMR is the Protect Grappler. Gives him Insurrection and Heroic Dodge. Heroic Dodge is 25% physical evasion. Insurrection for him gives him 20% attack. And it also gives 40 flat attack. So very strong TMR. You can practice trustability with this if you want to do that, which you are going to want to do. And his STMR is the USW9 Assault Rifle. 175 attack, which gives you the effect of 50% true dual wield and 30% limit burst damage. So it's pretty powerful for Rico Rodriguez. It's just another one of those 50% true dual wield weapons. It's very similar to actually Lightning's Super TMR, Radiant Lightning, Super TMR, except for the limit burst damage is only for Rico for some reason. I thought that's a little odd, but it is a thing for Rico Rodriguez. Now let's talk about his ability awakening system. Now this is finally going to be his 7-star skill. So really what we're talking about here is the 7-star skills, his 5-star skills, his 6-star skills. Not good, guys. So the first one here is going to be Back Off 3-point mod with ignore 50% defense for the first 8 hits, and then it's going to be a 9x mod with consecutive damage increase. That 9 times goes all the way up to 24. You have to stack it up to 5 times all the way up to that 24. So pretty powerful. Remember that 3 times ignore 50% defense. Any mod bonuses that go into this skill are going to go into it 3 times, because the first part has an ignore 50% defense, but the second part doesn't. So 1, then the ignore 50 is 2, and then the second part of the skill is the third multiplier increase there. So the skill at a base mod is 30 times, and any mod increases are going to buff this up. This is going to be his main damage dealing skill, and it is the Bolting Strike Chaining Frame family. Now we have 7 stars right here. Let's Roll, 5-turn cooldown, available on 1. 15 times mod fire physical damage. So this skill is fire locked. It also does do a fire imbue for you as well for 5 turns to the caster, and it gives a 5 times mod skill for a lot of his old skills that you won't be using, but a 3.5 times mod increase for all the new ones, including Back Off, which we just talked about. So that 3.5 mod increase is actually going to be a 10.5, because that goes into there 3 times, like we talked about just a second ago. It also buffs up Fuel Barrels, Let's Roll, Storm Chaser, Stormwater, Patrol Boat, and Up, and Away. It's Up and Away, which is the next skill, but I like to call it Up and Away. I mean, if you don't like it, I guess take me to court. Anyway, 6-turn cooldown, available on turn 1, 250% attack buff for 5 turns to the caster, a very, very low 60% defense and spirit break for 5 turns to all enemies there. It also is a 5 times mod in the first 8 hits there, and then a 15 times mod with ignore 50% defense for that backloaded part there. So pretty strong. Remember, this does get that multiplier increase from Let's Roll, and this is going to go into there 3 times as well, because the ignore 50% part and it being 2 parts. So that's going to be that skill. Then we have Supply Drop, which is available on turn 3. It enables Fuel Barrel, Storm Chaser, and Stormwater Patrol Boat. We're going to skip over the Magnus ability for right now. We're going to go talk about Fuel Barrels and the Storm Chaser, all the unlocked skills. So let's go down here. Fuel Barrels is going to be a 120% fire imperil and a 15 times mod fire physical damage bolting strike skill. It also will imbue yourself for 1 turn there. Stormwater Patrol Boat is going to be Avalanche Kick, 120% water imperil with a 15 times water mod. And then it's going to be Storm Chaser here, which is also Avalanche Kick, 120% earth imperil with a 15 times earth physical damage mod there as well. The Avalanche Kick stuff, the only other character that actually has this stuff that I can remember is Zhuanglu Xinglong. So not really all that possible, not all that great of a stuff. So what is with Rico Rodriguez is Army of Chaos Magnus ability. This is a skill that makes or breaks him in different fights, and what you're using him with and who you're using him with. This is because his Magnus ability is 3 uses per battle, increases physical damage against humans by 150% for 1 turn to the caster, and then it has 3 separate casts of a 9-hit skill. It's not quite Bolting Strike because of the way that the skill is, but each one of these is a 40 times mod. So when you cast this skill, it's going to be 40 times mod, 40 times mod, 40 times mod, and then because you're dual wielding, 40 times mod, 40 times mod, 40 times mod. So very similar to something like just dual wield proccing Zhuanglu Xinglong's Magnus ability. Very, very strong. And just because you're dual wielding doesn't mean it eats up 2 uses, it only eats up 1 use. So you can get in there, cast it again, and then cast it again. The problem with this skill is that there's no real way to use this skill in a couple of circumstances. Number one, it is a random enemy. So if you're in a multiple boss, multiple fight encounter, you have no idea who this is going to fire off on. You have no idea who this is going to hit. So you can't plan for that. You're going to hit the wrong things. You might hit something that's invincible, whatever. You're just not going to be able to target anything in a multiple encounter. So a multiple enemy encounter, I should say. So that's one X right there. The second one is that the way that this works is very similar if you're around for his old ability, Triple Spray, where he just fires things off really fast, right? He's not like, it's not, you know, triple casting like a Divine Ruination skill or triple casting a Bolting Trick skill. He just goes. He just really fast. He goes really fast to the point where it's almost impossible to use this with anyone other than another Rico Rodriguez, and you have to use it on a single boss encounter. The damage that his other skills they're not bad, but they're not insane. The damage that makes him insane, if you have the ability to use Army of Chaos, you're using it with another Rico Rodriguez, you're in a single target fight, then he is insane. He's the best damage dealer in the game because you just give him his attack buff, Army of Chaos, Army of Chaos, Army of Chaos, fight is probably over. You don't have to use his other skills. But as soon as you have to start using his other skills, or Army of Chaos doesn't do what you want it to, it hits an invincible enemy, hits the wrong enemies, you're using 2 Rico Rodriguez, but there's 2 enemies that you're attacking, you guys Army of Chaos the wrong enemies the entire time, you never chain at all, then it's bad. It's just not going to work. I know there's a lot of people doing math and stuff on it. Remember, guys, if you see this like on a spreadsheet or something like that, they're assuming that you're chaining up Army of Chaos, which means there's one boss and you're using another Rico Rodriguez, so this means that multiple counters breaks this fight, or breaks his ability. This means not being able to use a second Rico Rodriguez, like Dark Visions, pretty much breaks this ability. It's very hard to even like put into an roll array. He just fires it off so much that it breaks most of the time, if not all of the time, with his Army of Chaos ability, because I think 2 of the hits start landing right on top of each other, and the only other person in the game that can do that is another Rico Rodriguez. So unless you have a duplicate, it just breaks. Talking about his passives, though, he is very strong. He's got a lot of attack passives, like Fist and a Gun passive. He has 150% True Duel. He has Machine Killer as a passive, 50% Human Killer as a passive, and then Human and Machine Killer again at 75%, so he has 125% total. He's got mod increases of 3.0 and 4.0 for his skills. He's got a base dodge of 20%, immune to Blind Sleep, Confusion, and Petrify. He's got the 6 times mod cap. He also has 30% limit burst damage. He also has Gadgets Galore, which gives him triple cast there for your liking, which allows him to do Glass Grenade, Homing Grenade, Slingshot Boost, Tether, Triple Spray, and Chaos Object Homing, which are his old skills that you're not really using anymore. Then he's got his new skills, which are Back Up, Back Off, Let's Roll, Up and Away, all up and away like Superman. He's got all that stuff. And then we get down to his Limit Burst here, which is Death from Above, which actually is pretty powerful, but he doesn't have a Limit Burst damage buff, and he doesn't have a lot of limit burst damage in his kit there. It is a 5 times mod ignore, 50% defense to all enemies there in the first 10 hits, and then the fast hit. The last hit is a 20 times mod ignore, 50% defense to all enemies as well. So in total, it's a 50 times multiplier. So it hits fairly hard, but he's not a limit burst damage dealing character. It also is going to give you that Fuel Barrel, Storm Chaser, and Stormwater Patrol Boat. Those skills aren't that integral to his kit because it's the avalanche kick skills for the earth and the water, and he's got the 1-turn fire imbue and the 120% fire imperil. It's just really not worth it. He lives and dies on Army of Chaos, in my opinion, and that's what it's going to be. I wouldn't pull for a character like this, guys, because there's too many stipulations. I like doing cool stuff with cool characters, but this means you have to use him with another Rico Rodriguez. You have to use him in a single target encounter. Otherwise, he's just not going to be good. So I would pass up on Rico Rodriguez. He looks really cool. He's a cool guy. I happen to have one. I don't even think I'm going to make him 7-star. He's been waiting a long time for this. And unlike Adam Jensen, he did ask for this. We did ask for this. But I never asked for this, guys. I never asked for this. So thank you so much for coming and hang out. Thank you so much for the support via Patreon as well as YouTube channel membership. You want to see us live on Twitch, come over. Hang out, link to that is down in the description. We stream multiple times a week, 3 times a week right now. Very awesome community out there. If you want to see the Discord for FFBE multiplayer, or the Visions multiplayer, all the other games as well, including FFBE, check that place out as well. Very cool stuff there. But until then, guys, thank you for support. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys in the next one.